Why do I always say that one console is better than the other, or PC is better than everything else, or whatever? We're all gamers. Let's just sit down, play games, and have fun. Everybody, welcome back to Ridir Gaming. I'm Wes, and today we're talking about the console wars. I have said it before, I think the console wars are dead. I don't think that the tribalism between PC Master Race and Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo needs to continue. Truth be told, I think that we're seeing everything kind of meld towards the big three becoming one major platform, which is PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. In fact, you already see Microsoft taking leaps and bounds to go ahead and do this. I really believe that we're going to see this in the next generation. That does leave out the Nintendo Switch. And I do believe that Nintendo is going to remain kind of by itself for a while because Nintendo just has individual intellectual properties that nobody else can touch. I mean, we're talking Mario, Pokemon, we're talking Zelda, we're talking just so many different platforms on Nintendo that they're just probably never going to come into the fold. But I will say that the console wars really don't make sense, especially with Scalpers just going through and trying to feed off this tribalism that we have, this just insane, innate desire to be proven right, that our choice is better than the other choice. Whatever. It's what floats your boat, right? Now, there are pros and cons of each console, and we'll start off with the Nintendo Switch and the Switch Lite. It is by far the most portable, most dynamic system that we have. It's not the most powerful, and it never will be the most powerful, but it has some of the most incredible games that I've ever seen. If there's one console I'd recommend picking up, it's the Nintendo Switch. But Wes, didn't you say that there's no reason to have the console wars and just get what makes you happy? Well, yeah. And for most people, I think that the Switch is going to be like that happy button. And I don't mean this like the other two are bad. In fact, I think the other two platforms are absolutely fantastic. But the Nintendo Switch has more than 3,100 games. And then you have more than 90 NES and Super NES games for free. And you have the strong exclusives, which are Pokemon, Legend of Zelda, Mario, Smash Bros., Fire Emblem, Three Houses. It's absolutely insane, all the different games that the Switch has. And during quarantine and lockdown, being able to game wherever we are, well, I mean, most of us are locked down at home, but being able to game just about anywhere is really awesome, even if this isn't a true 9th gen console. The Switch continues to perform very well, and the model refresh that came out earlier this year, late last year, is absolutely fantastic with the extended battery life. I have one of those. The Switch Lite I thought was going to be a flop, but it's actually really great. And you know what? For $200, that's the cheapest console that I think I've ever seen that performs amazing. My wife has one now and she absolutely loves it. Now, this does really come in as my only must-buy for consoles because you can't get these games on any other platform because Nintendo refuses to allow them. In fact, they went through and shut down a Smash tournament because they didn't like the emulator. That's a whole nother story. Really, $200, $300 for a Switch. I mean, you're looking at 20 to 40% of a brand new phone cost. Now let's go talk about the other two consoles, PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X or Series S. Both of these are absolutely fantastic, and both of them are almost impossible to get because of scalpers. So if you can't get your hands on one, don't worry, because really right now, there's not that big of a reason to get them. There's not a ton of exclusives except for Spider-Man, and you're looking at just being able to have 120 frames per second on your TV. But early adapters are running into a lot of problems with disk drives, with games being auto-erased on the PlayStation. I mean, both of them have their faults right now, but both of them also look incredibly powerful. If one's going to come down on top of the other, though, and you have to get one of these two consoles, I'd probably lean towards the PlayStation 5. And me being an Xbox guy, like you can see all the Master Chief stuff here, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5. I've already got a DualSense controller. I really am excited to be able to play God of War and Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, all these other games that are PlayStation exclusives. And really, that's the reason why I'm leaning towards the PlayStation 5. Well, this takes us over to the Xbox camp because Xbox has done something that I think is incredibly, incredibly powerful for gamers. Not for their ability to sell consoles, but their ability to sell games and to support gaming. You can get all of your games on PC. Like, okay, all of them is a little bit of an understatement, or a little bit of an overstatement, because you can't get every single game on PC, but you can get most of them. And then if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is like $15 a month, but Game Pass Ultimate for $1, and it combined all of my Xbox Live Gold and all my Game Pass time and put it together. So I've got like 2.5, 3 years of Game Pass Ultimate where I get a whole bunch of free games that I get to play. And then I have all of my games I'd already paid for and I can play Gears of War or Halo Master Chief Collection on the PC or on the Xbox, I don't need to go through and buy an Xbox Series X. And on top of that, Microsoft is partnering with Valve, the guys that own Steam on PC, and they've got a ton of games going on there. And PlayStation is also putting games, Death Stranding, Horizon Zero Dawn. They're both on Steam right now. So really, it's coming down to like, buy yourself a Switch, buy yourself a PC, even just a mid-tier PC, because you need one for school, or you need one for work, or you need one just to browse the internet anyway. And you don't have to have a console. Now, will consoles be price performance better? Probably. PCs are incredibly expensive right now. Scalpers are absolutely destroying the PC market too. So when it comes down to what should you buy, in my opinion, get a Switch first. The IPs are just absolutely fantastic. If you want a $500 console, PlayStation 5 is the first one to get. And if you want to get all three, then the Xbox Series X. But that is because whether or not you get a PlayStation 5 or not, I still recommend getting Xbox Game Pass Ultimate because it gives you thousands of games. You just need to have a PC. Anyway, this is Wes from Ridir Gaming. Do good, play hard, game on.